Where's just came from the quinceañera. Hit that like button. It's like taking your checks off at the front door of a gangster's house before you walk in. It's Duse M's the Damu Kiwe Conversations. We got the live premiere on. Oh, y'all see real spiffy, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shorty Mills talk about a hamburger away from a heart attack. Yeah, see. Thank you, Mom. So they want to make sure moms want to make sure I got some juice. Y'all see the active Chuck sign on the cup? That's dope, huh? I ain't at the house with the fam. Hit that like button, man. When y'all weigh in, we gonna get to the content. We ain't gonna keep wasting time, right? How come ain't nobody said nothing in the comment? Fake pink drinking tea. Kanye West called Akademiks a federal blogger on Drink Champ. Oh, somebody put that clip in the chat. Put that clip in the chat. Listen to what the federal blogger said about LA. Oh, I gotta turn that down. Hold on. All right, so here we go. Salute to all my good people, man. They probably on the other video. No, I know they on the other video. That's cool. They can come over here when they get a chance to. They'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? My people pretty smart. Papa Dirt, what up? They dealt a bunch of Kanye's drink champ. Yeah, look, listen to the federal blogger. Let's start off like this. And what's happening with my
get money? They're broke, okay? I'm sorry to say, LA gangsters, I don't know what's going on in LA. Maybe they don't sell enough drugs being in these gangs. They don't get money. They're broke, okay? I'm sorry to say, LA gang members are fucking broke. The only way they know how to get money is podcasting. Most of them are unintelligible, illiterate, don't know how to have coherent ideas, points, or even make sentences. And what they oftentimes realize the intrigue about them are, what usually is
Davis,
talk about crimes they've committed. So the whole LA podcast scene, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I think LA is a weird scene in general. I don't know what's going on in LA. Maybe they don't sell enough drugs being in these gangs. They don't get money. They're broke, okay? I'm sorry to say, LA gang members are fucking broke. The only way they know how to get money is podcasting. Most of them are unintelligible, illiterate, don't know how to have coherent ideas, points, or even make sentences. And what they oftentimes realize the intrigue about them are, what usually is talk about crimes they've committed. So the whole LA podcast scene, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I think LA is a weird scene in general.
So LA niggas don't know how to get no gangbangers, don't know how to get no money except by podcasting. Well, I did learn how to get some money on podcasting. In fact, ain't that the tea kettle calling the skillet black? Nigga, did this nigga get his money in podcasting? You know what I'm saying? Kid the barber ETE. You know what I'm saying? Salute. DJ Bumpademics and Drake Dick Rider. That's a fact, bro. Bitch ass act facts, bro. Akademiks is I can't stand that. Hey, what up, Dominique? Nino Black, salute. So we gonna get into the other video, you know what I'm saying? Since he talking about we don't know how to get to the bag. Let's start. We'll get to that other one once that finishes. Let's start with Tiny Evil. You know what I'm saying? Sixers, but these the young homies. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get to the other one later. But Akademiks, man, you wrong. It's a lot of different ways. Niggas
stories. In this episode, I'll be discussing Tiny Evil. Ron Simmons was born on October 22nd, 1998 in Los Angeles, California. He grew up poor on the west side of South Central, in the Harvard Park neighborhood to be exact. Gang violence has long made Harvard Park a dangerous place to raise kids. The 6 Duse Brims claims the central part of the neighborhood, while the surrounding territory is controlled by Crips. A Crip looking for a blood knows where to go. Sometimes the victim turns out not to be a gang member. Most of the victims are black men. In 2016, the area around Harvard Park was the deadliest place for Black Americans in Los Angeles County. An uptick in casualties are not unusual in an area where the baseline level of violence is high, fueled by gangs, readiness to settle arguments with guns, and poverty. Coming up without having much, Tiny E made a promise to his family that he would never be broke again. Against his grandmother's wishes, he jumped off the porch. And by age 16, he was a full-fledged member of the 6 Duse Brims. Aside from gangbanging, Tiny E was known for his rapping skills, as well as being a serial flocker. In the 2010s, flocking became one of the most popular crimes for gang members in LA to make some quick cash. Flocking is a common type of residential burglary. Typically in such a case, 2 or 3 perpetrators operate together, have a getaway vehicle, and choose a residential area near a freeway, but not near major intersections. One of the accomplices will knock on the front door of a house, usually between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m., in order to determine whether anyone is home. If not, they attempt to enter the residence through a window or back door, usually wearing gloves. If there is an answer to their knock, an excuse is given, such as looking for a particular person, or to see if the vehicle parked on the street is for sale. Operating near a freeway allows the perpetrators to enter and leave the area quickly. It was brought to a national light and became mainstream when YG released the song Meet the Flockers, which essentially was an instruction manual on how to commit the crime.
Harold has metastatic prostate cancer, but like you, Harold has stuff to do. He takes new
Tiny E allegedly began flocking at the start of 2017. After hitting 2 licks, he got his first taste of fast cash. The first thing he did was take a trip to the slots and swap meet and cash out on some gold. From Cubans to Rolex chains and bracelets, his homies trophied up too. In the meantime, Tiny E was in the studio and shooting music videos. He had his section buzzing when he dropped the track Move On You.
Field playing boy, keep that tool on you. You better keep that tool on you. I'm a 6 little savage, my Glock 30 home magic. And it's magically losing how when I pull it, they panic. Niggas stuff on the socials till you catch them in traffic. Slide up and squeeze the trigger, watch it break the turn track. Make this nigga dramatic. Slide his body in the back, made of plastic. Catch the bodies with shit like a habit. I be fitted for a kill, like a smoker for a fix. So why you playing with that bitch? I be playing with these sticks.
During this time, Tiny E connected with B&G rapper Joe Moses and was featured on his Until Death Do Us Part project. A 21-track effort JM dropped to highlight the talents of his NWB team. While his name was growing across the city, he still was flu-flamming heavy behind the scenes. In October of 2017, he was arrested for receiving stolen property. Tiny Evil would be arrested 2 blocks from where police found a safe that had been reported stolen. One of the officers found 2 crowbars nearby and recovered $35,000 in hundreds strewn across the street. Tiny E had in his possession $8,000 in cash, a bust down, 10K gold chains, and a couple medallions. He would spend a month in the county jail, then bail out in November. In January of 2018, he'd take a plea deal. He would get 16 months in jail. On November of that year, while serving his sentence, he was hit with a new case. These 33 counts included robberies, burglaries, possession of firearms, and conspiracy. These counts would end up being dismissed in March of 2019. The cause for this dismissal would be because 3 weeks prior, Tiny Evil would be indicted on 93 counts. These 93 counts included 11 counts of robberies, 59 counts of burglaries, 1 count of street gang conspiracy, 1 count of torture, 1 count of mayhem, and attempts plus other miscellaneous charges. Tiny E was picked up after a traffic stop in South Central, revealed a firearm, and items believed to have been taken from burglarized homes. Authorities had evidence that between October 2017 and October 2018, Tiny Evil and other members of the 6 Duse Brims committed a series of burglaries in the San Gabriel Valley. The San Gabriel Valley is a major hotspot for these types of crimes. In 4 of the burglaries, the occupant of the residence was home, which would make it a home invasion. In 2 of those 4 robberies, they attacked the victims. Tiny Evil and his crimies generally followed a common plan. Late in the afternoon or early in the evening, they would meet up at the home of DeAndre Johnson in Long Beach, who was also a member of the 6 Duse Brims, then drive 15 to 20 miles to a city in the San Gabriel Valley. After nightfall, without knocking on the door, they broke a glass door or window to get into the house, ransacked the rooms, and stole as much jewelry, cash, and other transportable items as they could. They usually left within 10 minutes and drove back to the Long Beach area before dispersing. If people were home during the burglary, the gang members intimidated, threatened, and sometimes beat them to learn where they kept cash and other valuables. None of the victims could identify the perpetrators. A detective monitored social media activity of the 6 Duse Brims gang members, analyzed the records of cell phones associated with members of the gang, and found evidence implicating Tiny Evil in the burglaries and robberies. Based on his analysis of cell phone records, the detective concluded that every time members of the 6 Duse Brims left their neighborhood in South Central Los Angeles and traveled to the San Gabriel Valley, the open lines between the gang members corresponded to crimes happening close to those areas of phone activity. Call detail records showed that the phones of Tiny Evil and other 6 Duse Brims gang members traveled to each targeted residence near the time of the burglary, and subsequently traveled back to the neighborhood of the gang or one of its members. Video surveillance from 2 of the burglarized homes and from the apartment of one of the gang members provided further incriminating evidence. The victims of the burglaries and robberies testified about what they saw when the intruders entered their home. The mode of entry was usually a smashed glass door or window in the back of the house. The victims who were present when the burglaries occurred described the perpetrators as 2 to 3 young men who wore black clothing, black shoes, and a mask that revealed only the skin around the eyes underneath the mask. The 2 victims who suffered physical injuries also described how they were attacked. In addition to the victims' testimony, 3 gang experts testified about the 6 Duse Brims culture of violence, the protocol its members followed when committing burglaries, the cell phone records that showed Tiny Evil's proximity to each of the burglaries and robberies, and surveillance video and social media posts that further established that he participated in the crimes. An officer also testified that based on more than 24 contacts with Tiny Evil since 2016, that Tiny Evil was a rising member of the 6 Duse Brims. A picture on Tiny Evil's social media account showed him holding out a handful of money. The officer stated that this picture is a benefit to the gang because it shows success and that it entices younger kids to join. The picture also depicted a bottle of lean, which the officer explained gang members usually obtain through burglaries and sold for income. The officer testified that Tiny Evil drove a higher-end Jaguar, and that driving such a car benefits Tiny's reputation in his hood. The officer said he commonly saw gang members with higher-end vehicles and jewelry after someone in the gang had been arrested for burglary. Surveillance video from one of the burglarized homes showed
the police officer testified that they commonly see gang members in expensive cars. But Akademiks who ain't from the land, he ain't even from this country. This nigga's a Jamaican. It's talking about the LA. This nigga don't know nothing about the LA gang subculture. He talking about the gang members in LA don't know how to get no money except for YouTube. And well, that's all I know how to get money now, because I don't do nothing else. But a YouTuber. But he started off as a YouTuber. But here it is, the police is describing and testify under oath the total opposite. Figure that. I'll let y'all figure that one out. I guess he don't really. Renegade Duchess, what's up with it? Salute. I guess he don't know what he talking
image
about.
Of one of the intruders wearing shoes with distinctive markings that were consistent with shoes Tiny Evil wore. A still image from a surveillance video of another burglary showed 3 individuals, one of whom again wore shoes that resembled the shoes Tiny Evil had on. Another still image showed an individual who had facial features that resembled Tiny Evil's, including a distinctive gap in the middle of his mustache. Tiny Evil would sit in jail fighting this 93-count indictment, but 10 months later he was charged with a new case. The charges included 1 count of murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, 1 count of possession of a firearm, and 1 count of shooting into a vehicle, stemming from an incident 2 years prior on the night of November 4th, 2017. The gunfire broke out around 1 a.m. as 2 party buses were parked along Ocean Avenue near Colorado Boulevard. Several people got off one of the buses and got into a fight with the group on the other, and the argument erupted into gunfire. Tiny Evil and Cameron allegedly fired a flurry of rounds into one of the buses, striking 4 people. 1 victim was found on Ocean Avenue, and the bus drove to the Santa Monica police headquarters with 3 victims aboard. 3 people were hospitalized with gunshot wounds, while the 4th suffered minor injuries and was not taken for treatment. Dayomi succumbed to her injuries at the hospital. She was 28 years old.
I want them to know, the people who did that took her life, what they did, what they took from her 2-year-old. She left a 2-year-old daughter for something senseless.
What started out as a fun night with friends ended in a hail of deadly gunfire.
30 to 40 shots, like over an argument. I don't, that's the part I can't I can't put it together.
Her heartbroken mother says she takes comfort in her faith.
She died a hero.
She says De La Cruz, who worked as a school bus driver, was devoted to her family, her youngest brother, the 13-year-old struggling to comprehend the violence.
I think it's just stupid why people would do that just because they're from a different neighborhood and have to like endanger other people's lives because they're from different neighborhoods. So I think that she should get justice.
You should never settle for plans that don't fly for you and your budget. At U.S. Cellular Prepaid.
And the family is pleading with the killers to do the right thing, turn themselves in.
6 days after being charged with murder, he would go to trial for the 93-count indictment. And in October of 2019, he would be convicted on several counts. While many counts got dismissed and a few acquitted, a jury convicted Tiny Evil on 1 count of actively participating in a criminal street gang conspiracy, 10 counts of first-degree burglary, 2 counts of first-degree robbery, 2 counts of attempted first-degree robbery, and 1 count each of torture and mayhem in connection with one of the burglaries. The jury also found true gang allegations on each of the burglary, robbery, and attempted robbery counts. He was sentenced to a determinate term of 46 years, 4 months, and a concurrent indeterminate term of 15 years to life. In 2020, he would catch a charge for having a weapon in prison. And in 2021, he would take a plea deal on his murder case and have the charge reduced to assault with a semi-automatic on a person. He would get 12 years for that charge. A month later, he would take another plea deal for having a weapon in prison. He would receive an additional year for the weapon case. He will be eligible for parole in 2032. In a recent development, Baby Braze would put Tiny Evil on Front Street earlier this year. It's alleged the Hoovers were trying to take Braze out and were jumping in 5-on-1. Tiny Evil was allegedly present, but left Braze unstuck and did not jump in the mix. Braze took to his channel to address it himself.
Tiny Evil got to get on here. Jesus Christ, nigga. That nigga's short. Always breathing on Tiny Evil. I'm just saying, nigga. He left me right there, nigga, with enemies 5-on-1 me, and he knew what's up, nigga. Dead homies, nigga. I'm breathing on that nigga forever, nigga. And I know it's people, nigga. I'm breathing on it forever.
In other news, it's alleged Tiny Evil socked out Crip Mac when they ran their fade. Several reports have confirmed of this taking place. In a recent Instagram post, Tiny Evil came through with a word just ahead of summertime.
I think I figured it out. All you young niggas be doing all this popping on this internet because y'all ain't been in no wars. Y'all be doing all this dissing, but y'all don't know what the words do. And ain't nobody came and showed y'all the consequences behind that shit. You niggas better stop popping it. It's finna get real out there. It's summertime too. I hope you niggas got guns.
I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Man, hope you niggas got guns. Summertime Los Angeles, if you know, you know, man. You know what I'm saying? It's functions every day. Shit get real quick. You know what I'm saying? But let me go ahead and get this. Hit that like button. Let me see what's my good people in the chat. Jamie Crosby, Mr. Can You Dig It? Baton Rouge, Slim, salute, Big Duse. Jay Homemade from putting my family members on the map. My first time seeing you do that from your homeboy, Baton Rouge, Slim, man. Salute, man. You know what I'm saying? Star Olivia, what up? Star Olivia, Jerry Griffin. Actually worry about those weird cases he dipping and quit trying to get himself hurt. Well, you know, you receive whatever energy you put out, man. We ain't got to be the dummies to do it, though. Hit that like, thumbs up. Okay, if you ain't a buster. Busters. You niggas are buster. All right, so let's go like this. Let's watch this, the video of the day. It's on, damn, I didn't even put I thought I had put that's crazy, bro. I thought I put man, y'all get them like buttons up. I didn't even put the let me edit the video and put this up. That's crazy. I didn't put up no thumbnail because I damn sure made the thumbnail, man. This is nasty work, bro. Nobody wasn't gonna tell me, dudes, where's the thumbnail? We got the active Chuck thumbnail. I guess that's good enough, right? we need to go ahead and get the I'll put the video on and I can fix that as we do that. We're gonna go into this one about bad news. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into this one about bad news. I had already released that one. So tomorrow we flaming CS2 back up. I don't know how everybody keep let him discuss everybody else being what's calling in. Congratulations. The Damu Kiwe Conversation active Chuck page has just reached 2 million views. Not bad for a team that only got 8,078 subscribers. 2 million views. I like to congratulate all of y'all, man. I couldn't do it without y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to show y'all, give y'all props, man. Y'all want to continue doing it, man. Y'all just keep hitting that like button when y'all come up in here, man. Come support us, man. I really appreciate y'all allowing me to do something that I enjoy, spending time with y'all, interacting with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Wade from Wisconsin, man. Y'all make me feel like I'm still at home. You dig? Big market. I've been good since I was on the live when y'all was at the restaurant yesterday. Okay. Yeah, I was on that live too. Salute to the Blue Brims Mob, Carolina Connect TV. Salute, lace them chucks up and get active in the chat. Man, 2 million views. Yes, was a time had. Congratulations, Duse and y'all, man. I gotta call y'all in the morning and let them know, man. 2 million views. You know what I'm saying? They said nobody listens to us. Nobody's 2 million. What's been a year and a half? So that's about a million and something in a year. Yeah, that's a lot of traffic to be to not be nobody. So let's go here. Duse M. It's already people still over there on the damn live too. I mean on the premiere. Somebody go over there and tell them they need to come over here. Hit that like button. Somebody go over there and tell them they need to come over here, man. We're gonna watch it over here anyway. Let's get to it, man. Welcome to the Damu Kiwe Conversation. Voice of the West Coast. Voice for the culture. This is how the West was won. It's Duse M's the dime. I'm going to take y'all to the sector. Aftermath White. Salute, man. Thank you, man. Y'all help me, man. Y'all that made that happen. Akademiks and all these squares that ain't from our community. You too, man. Talking like, oh, these niggas is bums. These niggas don't get no bag. Bro, I went to Feds, a money maker, nigga. A bank robber at 22. You think that we just hang around and hang around? No, that's kind of like Rainbow, if you know what I'm saying. Nah, it's unity to overcome the economic deprivations in these desolate economic communities and inner cities across Los Angeles, then spread to San Diego and everywhere else. It come and speaking of San Diego, shout out to my basement block and ocean view. But today we at that part, that Harvard. Let's get into the content. We at that part.
See, Bad News is shout out Bad News too.
Yeah, shout out Bad News.
He was a solid little.
Yeah, he was.
In today's video, we're going to be speaking about Lil Bad News from the 6 Deuce Brims. And we're going to break down the case to where he would be accused of breaking into multiple celebrity homes, and he would be charged with 77 counts of burglary and more. He would be accused of robbing some of the biggest name celebrities like Chief Keef, Rihanna, and more. And he would also be arrested with his mother. And we're also going to break down how that arrest would spark off the Brim indictment. But let's get into it. On September 27th of 2018, 4 suspects would be arrested for a series of celebrity-targeted burglaries. In them 4 people would be 3 teen boys and 1 parent. And that parent happened to be a mother to one of the boys. And the 3 men that were arrested were Jashawn Daniels, who was 19, Tyrese Williams, who was 19, and Damaji Hall, who was 18. And Damaji Hall would be Lil Bad News from the 6th, who happened to be Lil Bad News' mother. But like we said, they were arrested on September 27th after robbing the home of Robert Woods, who happened to be a wide receiver for the Los Angeles Rams. And Lil Bad News' mother happened to be charged with grand theft in relation to the crime. And at first, they were detained, but they would later be arrested after police found property and a firearm which belonged to Woods. Police would also find $50,000 in cash, watches, jewelry, and designer purses. And after Lil Bad News was arrested, he would call his mother over the jail phone, and he would tell her to clean up the house. And she would say that she threw out anything that was too much or too flashy, including 2 Louis Vuitton backpacks, a Gucci purse, and 4 watches. She would then grab about $35,000 in cash that was stashed in his dresser and a handgun. And she would place both items in her vehicle. And police would recover both items during a search warrant. His mother would then tell detectives that Lil Bad News was a member of 6 Duse Brim. And she would also say his moniker was Lil Bad News. And she would also tell detectives that she knew that Lil Bad News had been flocking, aka robbing houses. And she would also tell detectives that Lil Bad News gave her a Jeep Cherokee with paper plates in May of 2018. And police would end up finding out that Jeep was stolen. Police would then ask her why she didn't find it strange that her 18-year-old son gave her a vehicle. And she would reply and say what she doesn't know won't hurt her. Just don't get her involved and keep her away. And while they were executing that search warrant on Lil Bad News' house, they would come across a future celebrity target list, which included names like Viola Davis, LeBron James, and Matt Damon. And after this, police would say, at first it seemed like it was a random string of burglaries. But after that, they would say that's no longer the case. And they would say at first they thought the homes were being burglarized at random. But they would learn that the victim's home had been selected based off a social media posting of touring and traveling schedules. And police would continue their investigation because they would believe that Lil Bad News and the 2 others were involved in a number of other robberies and burglaries. And police would also say that they believe it's a burglary ring and more people are involved. And just a few weeks after their arrest, LAPD would learn that Lil Bad News and the 2 others were responsible for about 24 other burglaries of celebrity homes. They would say that they're responsible for robbing celebrities like Rihanna and Christina Milian, but those wouldn't be the only celebrities. Now let's dive right into it. And one of the first people they would be accused of robbing would be Yasiel Puig, who would play for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And it's alleged that they broke in while he was playing baseball. And they would say that the first burglary happened in March of 2017. And they made out with about $170,000 worth of jewelry. Then the next situation, he would have about $500,000 worth of jewelry stolen. And the last situation would be them causing $10,000 worth of damage to his house. And that happened because they found a safe on 2nd floor. And they were attempting to take it out of the front door where it didn't fit. The suspects then left the safe in the doorway and fled. And the next situation would happen on August 27th of 2018. And on this day, Christina Milian's house was broken into for the 2nd time in 1 week. And in the first burglary, which happened on August 24th of 2018, they got away with about $100,000 worth of jewelry. And on the second one, it's unclear what they got away with. In the next situation, what happened on September 4th of 2018, to where they would be accused of breaking into Bella Thorne's house. And in this situation, they would get away with about $150,000 worth of valuables and designer handbags. In the next situation would happen on September 24th of 2018. And this one would be of Chief Keef's house. And according to police, they would be caught red-handed and get into a shootout with the officers. Officers would say that the suspects jumped over a wall and threw a brick through the window. They would also say that at least one suspect made it in and made off with some type of money. And the next situation would happen the very next day,
Rihanna
on September 25th of 2018. And this time, they would be accused of breaking into Rihanna's house. But in this one, they wouldn't make out with anything because they would flee as soon as the alarm went off. And neighbors would tell police they saw 3 suspects jumping into a silver vehicle. And the last situation would happen on September 27th, which would be the day they were arrested. And like we said, they were arrested with $50,000 worth of cash on that robbery. But 2 months after the arrest, police would file a new case against them on November 28th of 2018. And this time, they would be facing 33 felony counts. In this indictment would be for targeting celebrity homes. And as you can see at the bottom in yellow, all the celebrity names. And after sitting down for about 5 months, they would have new charges filed against them. In this case right here would be the Brim indictment. And as you can see right there, they would be facing a total of 93 felony counts. And as you can see at the top, there would be 31 alleged Brim members, and there would be 69 victims. But after sitting down for about 4 years, he would have majority of these charges dismissed, besides a couple that were.
Hey, Mike B said they ass hit all A-list stars. Yeah, but Akademiks said that the gangbangers in LA is dumb. They can't enunciate a whole complete sentence. They don't know how to talk, and they don't know how to get money except YouTube. Even though we know him from getting money from YouTube and nothing else. So I'm just saying, niggas ain't too dumb. Niggas is getting to the chalupa, my nigga. Get your chili, stack your paper, ball till you fall, young nigga. Fuck the hate.
We're gonna run through right now. He would be found guilty of 1 count of robbery and 3 counts of burglary, to where he would be sentenced to a total of 20 years in state prison.
Turn now to the big break-in in a string of burglaries targeting some of the best-known entertainers and athletes.
Police in Los Angeles have arrested 5 people. They say use
Good
social
Morning
media
America.
to choose their victims.
They made Good Morning America. They was banging.
Phones, jewelry, designer handbags, and piles of cash, items worth millions of dollars. Police say the 5 suspects, including 4 teenagers and one of their mothers, are responsible for a string of burglaries targeting A-list celebrities. According to police, the suspects scouted upscale neighborhoods where athletes and celebrities lived, driving an expensive car to blend in. One suspect would knock on the door, and if no one answered, police say the group would break in and head straight to the bedroom. According to investigators, other victims included stars like Rihanna and Dodgers player Yasiel Puig. Investigators say inside the home of one of the suspects was a list of future targets, including Matt Damon and LeBron James.
The home of a rapper right now. Late last night, 2 men who tried to break into that house may have fired a shot at officers.
At the home of rapper Chief Keef, who moved in about 6 months ago. TMZ reports the suspects threw bricks, broke windows, and that one actually got into the house. They also report the artist was at home, but had no idea what was happening.
But that right there is going to wrap it up for the story. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in. But comment, like, and subscribe. It's respectable rates.
Y'all tap in for that little bad news. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna definitely get into that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button if you're just coming in. We're not even gonna do that one. We're gonna later on the day. But before we get past, let's close that one. We're gonna deviate from that one. Y'all already could go watch that. Some of y'all, probably most of y'all already watched it. We're gonna get to hit that like button, man. We're gonna get into this one. So maybe it's just that the brims is different. Maybe am I just putting it on thing? I know, I mean, we start before the Bloods and Crips help formulate what is the anti-Crip coalition known as the Bloods today. We are the centerpiece and nexus in that. You know what I'm saying? The beginning, right? They was about their paper. Hey, Creek know how to get some money besides YouTubing. He drove trucks. Creek was also, he's a published author. You know what I'm saying? Creek know how to get some money. And in the 80s, he was a Cali crack cocaine kingpin. Nigga. Shout out to Cali Cree and the Athens boys. You know what I'm saying? at this Park boys, man. You know what I'm saying? But let's get to this. And these the homies from Fruittown Brim that they got right here. But this story is about 6 Deuce Brim. They go Rad Ass, Baby Stretch. You got they go Pee Wee. I can't really see who Face those is. I think that's a little Tubu. That's who that look like. There go KD. There go the homie Lil JK. And let's get to it. But them is mostly Fruittown.
I'm gonna talk about Little Sonny from 6 Deuce Brim. Little Sonny was born Marcus Adams around 1970. He would grow up in the 6 Deuce Harvard Park Brim's turf. Little Sonny had 2 siblings, a sister and an older brother. That's where he would get the name from his brother, with his big bro going by Sonny. Older dudes in his neighborhood gave him the name because of association with his big brother and them seeing him around him all the time. Little Sonny had a normal life growing up. His mom worked and his dad was a boxer. He would learn how to box, and that's something he used later on in his life with his fighting skills. Little Sonny was a loved kid in his area, cutting grass and mowing grass. This developed his relationship with his older homies, which they had him doing lawns, and this later led to him running errands for them and doing whatever they needed. This later led him and his older brother on the path to be 6 Deuce Brims. But Sonny became fully involved in the streets and along his teenage years, robbing people, jacking cars, and whooping asses, which by 1985 led him to go to jail and which sent him to camp for beating and robbing a dude for his bite. Little Sonny got out of jail by 1986 and seen how the streets became. With the chains with the drug trade, he tried selling drugs, but he didn't like it. So this led to him committing robberies and robbing several fast food places and stores. Around the same time, Little Sonny world would forever be changed, with his big brother getting killed by the Rolling 60s.
So they was robbing local stores and fast food restaurants. I guess niggas just don't accept being broke. These gangbangers just don't accept being broke. I'm just saying, Akademiks, that narrative you've been trying to push, kind of like the same one that y'all say the streets is a myth and all of that. Don't really check out in the streets. That shit might hang. That shit might fly on the net. Niggas that don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? But in our community, that's why we look at you niggas like the weirdos y'all is, nigga. Nigga, go over there and tell them that the streets is a myth. I dare you.
Turn Little Sonny into a savage, leading him to always carrying a strap and always looking to catch enemies slipping. The 6 Deuce Brims are a respected blood gang that are clicked up with other Brim sets like the Fruittown Brims and the Vanessa Gangster Brims. But the Brims have several rivals, mostly being neighborhood Crip gangs. That includes hoods like the Rolling 40s, the Rolling 50s, and the Rolling 60s, among other gangs.
That's a fact.
All throughout the late 80s and 90s, Little Sonny will be in and out of prison for various charges. In 1994, Little Sonny would get out of prison. That's a good point. He would find out shortly after getting out.
I guess, see, I went on the Brim shit. You should have just let me just make it seem like the Brims is the only ones that's getting the money. My nigga, Papa Dirt had to tell the truth. He said, we all know them Harlem get chips with dip. Listen, the Harlems get that chalupa, nigga, talking about flocking. Nigga, but before that, the Harlems always had paper. You know what I'm saying? So it's an old hood and a big hood. Niggas been getting a chalupa, but I don't know what Akademiks talking about. But that's another hood right there. So it ain't just the Brims. I was trying to push that narrative, but my nigga Papa Dirt had to be like, hold on, nigga, y'all know what we do. We get that chili, nigga. Akademiks, bro. You looking like a real LA hater. We gonna check that poll out in a minute. Hit that like button, man. Let's go.
Goddaughter, who was 13, had been violated by 3 men and left for dead. From his own words, Little Sonny followed 3 Rolling 60 Crips to the 4-6 neighborhood Crips turf on September 7, 1994, where the Rolling 60 Crips stopped at Ford liquor store. Little Sonny claimed he walked up to the Rolling 60's car, and inside the car was 3 men, Dalen, Lamar, and Trayvon. Little Sonny claimed he confronted the Rolling 60s and asked why they violated his goddaughter, which he said they got aggressive with him, and then he started to air out the car. All 3 Rolling 60s died. Dalen died from a fatal shot to the head, and Lamar and Trayvon died from shots to the chest. A 4-6 neighborhood Crip named Lewis and a female had been witnesses to the whole crime, as they were at the store at the time. They ran while the shooting was happening. They were later identified as witnesses, but were not trying to snitch or tell the police what happened. Lewis knew Little Sonny from being in youth authority with him. Lewis would later end up snitching and telling the police everything that happened. He even picked Little Sonny out of a lineup. After all this happening, Little Sonny would find out his goddaughter needed a lot of money for a surgery, with injuries happened when she was violated. This prompted him to rob banks to raise the money. When robbing multiple banks, this led to her getting her surgery paid for. On one of the bank robberies, on October 3rd, a security guard was shot multiple times trying to run from Little Sonny and two other men. After that incident happened, they stole the woman's car by gunpoint. In October 1994, Little Sonny was picked up after Lewis snitched. Lewis himself ended up being arrested on a violation of parole. He ended up in the same jail as Little Sonny. Police tried to make Lewis pick Little Sonny out of a live lineup, which he refused because he didn't want to be labeled a snitch, like Brett wasn't already a snitch already. Lewis refusing to snitch again. By 1995, Little Sonny had been released with a lack of evidence and a lack of snitches. 2 weeks after his release in October 1995, Little Sonny was allegedly a part of a three-man group who shot a gang member named George. In 1997, Little Sonny was a part of another bank robbery, which a woman named Christine tried to run and escape. She was shot and killed. Little Sonny and another man was picked up for this. But this time, all his previous cases started to get pinned to him. In 1999, Lewis was questioned about the 1994 murders, and once again, he snitched. But this time, he stuck through and testified in court. Many people will say Little Sonny did the shootings because he hated the Rolling 60s, and he even bragged about them in jail. In 1995, it was said he told people he would kill more if he ever got out. Little Sonny will say the media put that image out that he killed the Rolling 60s over his brother, but he would say that was a complete different incident. He said he killed the three Rolling 60s over his goddaughter being violated by them. Witnesses from the 1994 robberies will also pick Little Sonny out at his trial. And in 1999, shootings of Georgia in 1995 and Christine being shot in a bank robbery in 1997. Little Sonny will be officially charged with over 12 crimes and up to 4 murders, and a few attempted murders and several bank robberies. This will lead to him being charged with multiple life sentences and being sentenced to death and death row. In jail, Little Sonny kept a savage mentality, getting into several fights, stabbing other inmates, and threatening several officers, and getting caught with weapons multiple times. Little Sonny is currently 52 and is on death row at San Quentin State Prison. This was his story. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Build a website you love.
Y'all hit that like button, man. We just giving it to y'all, man. But that's Lil Sonny from 6 Duse Brim. He was getting to his bag, so we done talked about several Brim. Then y'all know about my credit union robbery. You know what I'm saying? They went to the feds at 22, 23 for that. Nigga chasing after that cheese, man. And not the snitch. You know what's crazy is that these civilian YouTubers are sitting in their safe homes making money off LA street gang. That's so wild to me. Guys died and risked their lives for the street shit. Listen, bro. And all they do is try to exploit it. That's why they're against the checking in. I'm waiting for Act to get shut it up. Boop, bop, bia. If I told I would be a hermit, I wouldn't want to come outside. Act stay inside or move wearing a mask disguised like his rat brother Wacky. Hey, they better. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to go into one more now. There's a rat in MDCLA right now. Again, there's a rat in MDCLA right now, bro. The fuck, bro? Let's get to this. So, let me make sure y'all can see this. So, boom, speaking of my bank robbery, Flacco walking a thin line out here, man. Them niggas was I've been told them niggas about that nigga ODM Slim and all them niggas. I told them niggas about Flacco, and they kept accepting him. And now he talking about this and this and this and that. He hates me. He says I be hating on him. I'm hating on him because I call it a ball, and strike. And don't go for that fuck shit you want. $25,000 off a reward offer for info on the armored truck robberies in LA. Hey, this ain't podcasting, Academics. Hey, Academics, I think you ignorant to a lot of shit going on in a city in the land that you know nothing about. Nigga, you should be thankful and grateful that you haven't been exposed to this, that you're blinded to this reality. Let's get into this real quick. Let's see if we can. It's going to resume in about 30 seconds to let the world is infested with rodents. Yeah. I think Putin needs to apply some pesticides. You know what I'm saying? Them rats about to get together and form mega marsupial.
Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel.
But
You
listen
in?
to this. Because
New at 10 here, the feds call them the Chesapeake Bandits, a series of armored car robberies in South LA. Hawthorne and Inglewood is leading the FBI's LA field office to offer a reward of up to $25,000. Armored car driver at gunpoint tied them up, took off with the money. In one case, a gun was fired, but no one injured. Information on these crimes, please contact the FBI.
Even bust the pistol. So let me give y'all a little bit more about them. The FBI is searching for at least 3 people they say are responsible for a string of armored truck robberies in Southern California.
Cold Stone Creamery's delivering the smiles like never before.
All right, they are offering $25,000 reward for information on the suspects. The so-called Chesapeake Bandits are responsible for at least 3 armored truck robberies in Los Angeles County between February 2022 and February 2023. So in a year, they hit at 3 armored trucks, right? With attacks in South Los Angeles, Hawthorne, and Inglewood over that time. Officials believe the group targets the trucks when they service drive-through ATMs or when the drivers are exiting businesses. Then they zip tie the driver and hold them at gunpoint while others get into the truck and steal the money. Here's a picture of them. And the crazy part is, I know one of them. I know 2 of them. And I know 2 of them, they brothers. And I know they mama very well. In fact, one of the ones that was caught and recently convicted, the Navius Hobson, is the unindicted co-conspirator, the snitch on my federal bank robbery. He's in MDCLA right now. So there goes the FBI number. And one of the robberies, officials said 1 shot was fired, but no one was hit. The FBI said that these thieves should be considered armed and dangerous. Anyone with information on the robberies should was asked to contact the FBI. They always want somebody to do their job. Pigs is lazy as a motherfucker, man. They just eat themselves, eat shit, eat anything. But they do that. So let's see. So I got some pictures. I'm trying to get it, but I'm not at the house. As y'all can see, I'm in the basement at Maria brother and sister house. They bought this house by the river. This is where we chill at. You know what I'm saying? Wax saw that $25,000 reward and said, "I know who this is. I know who this is. Blood want that 25,000. I want that 25,000." Some niggas hit armored trucks here and got millions. Would have stayed free, but niggas with money. Right? I talked to dog. Right? Hit the like button. Duse has been sent to the basement. Yeah, because they upstairs, they watching TV and everything. So when I'm over here, I go to the basement where I can have a little quietness. And Levi here with me, you know what I'm saying? He follows me wherever I go. So let me get to this real quick. I'll read y'all the article, and then let me see if I can get these pictures and show y'all some pictures. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm going to give y'all a story, which is probably a lot better than in the pictures that I'm gonna show y'all because y'all gonna really know how close I am to this dude. In fact, I will argue that he learned everything, and I'm sure the streets will say the same things. He learned everything from me, right? Duse M, he learned everything from you. Yeah, he learned everything from me. You know what I'm saying? I had him when he was a minor. You know what I'm saying? I knew his mama. Well, Booger knew his mama and introduced me to him. Booger had caught a attempted murder, kidnap, robbery before he caught this life bid, and he beat it, right? And when he was in jail, he called me, and she was looking out for him or whatever, and he told me to look out for her. So when I go over there, I was giving her $100, and she told me, no, he told me you was gonna give me 2 G's. So I'm like, 2 G's, man. I'm not getting. I don't know what the fuck my little brother talking about. I ain't got no 2,000 for no motherfucking body, right? She like, nah, 2 grams. I said, what? I was selling grams for $20 at the time. I said, what? Give me back that $100. I bring you 3 grams. You know what I'm saying? Dude, we fuck with you from the basement to the attic. The message is the message. Hashtag fuck the union. Hey, oh shit. It's TD birthday. I forgot to get his cash out. I'm gonna try to get it and run it tomorrow in case anybody got a cash out for TD. Today is TD birthday, man. Shout out Tiny Draws, the bro, man. Good brother, man. So a Los Angeles man who acted as a lookout during the armed robbery of an armored truck was sentenced Friday to nearly 14 years in prison. James Russell Davis, a member of the group law enforcement officials dubbed the Chesapeake Bandits, pleaded guilty in February to a count of interference with commerce by robbery and a count of discharging a firearm in furtherance of a crime of violence. Yeah, that the 2022 robbery in which co-conspirator fired a handgun netted the group more than $160,000 in cash. Davis, who was captured, Davis is what was his nickname? Pooty. I forgot his nickname, but that's Denavius Hobson's little brother. He was younger than his brother. When I used to go over there, they stayed on Murfield in the jungles. Denavius Hobson was from City Stones. They called him Lil Trey K. But really, Lil Trey K got green eyes. That's the homie. Official like a gang member with a pistol. In fact, we went to CDC in Inglewood together, but I met this nigga through his mama, through Booger. Booger introduced me to his mama. Then when I get over there, I get introduced to him. And I thought I seen something in him, and then I just seen his mom was going through what she was going through. I kind of commiserated with it because my dad and me and my brother went through that when my dad was out there poofing, puffing, and all of that shit when we was kids and in and out of jail. So, you know, I tried to take him up under my wing, gave the nigga some work. The nigga gave the nigga all my clients. He just was moving around too quick and couldn't stay in one place, and that's not good when you hustling. So he ended up owing me some money. And I'm like, nigga, I need my money. I'm pressing. And he like, man, I just need a lick. And I started sending the nigga on licks. You know what I'm saying? Putting him with a crew. And we was passing, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, that nigga went from shit to sugar, nigga. That nigga was a nobody. The Blackstones was boo-bopping him, treating him like a mark. And when fat riding them niggas seen that I had the nigga, they was on him at first. They was like, oh, you with Duse M, like, blood gonna make blood a gangster. Fucking with Duse M, he gonna get active. You know what I'm saying? And that nigga ended up telling. But anyway, U.S. District Judge Fernando L. Anio Rocha ordered Davis 35 to pay $166,640 in restitution. When people commit crimes with guns, tragedies happen. U.S. Attorney Martin Estrada said in a statement, this is why it is so important that we bring the weight of federal prosecution against the perpetrators of violent gun crime. In a sentencing memo, Jay Lichten, Davis's attorney, asked the judge to consider his client's tragic personal history, including physical harm and emotional damage as a child. Lightman also noted that when Davis was about 25, he was hit in the chest by a stray bullet while attending a youth basketball game. Lightman wrote that the bullet has remained lodged over the aortic arch of the heart, causing Mr. Davis daily physical pain and emotional stress. Mr. Davis deeply regrets his involvement in the offenses charged in this case. Lichtman wrote, he humbly asked the court to consider his personal history and characteristics in deciding on an appropriate sentence. Reached by phone, Lichtman said the judge considered the mitigating factors in handing down his sentence. Although we would have preferred a lower sentence, it was still below the guidelines. Authorities believe the group was behind a series of heists targeting armored cars across the Los Angeles region. They were called the Chesapeake Bandits because they carefully planned the holdups at a home on Chesapeake Avenue in LA's West Adams neighborhood, investigators said. Members would force security guards to the ground at gunpoint, zip-tie them, and grab money bags before fleeing, according to law enforcement. In a plea agreement, Davis admitted that in 2022, he and a co-conspirator cased the credit union in Hawthorne, where they observed a Sectran truck driver servicing an ATM. On February 14th of that year, he admitted he and his co-conspirators robbed the Sectran security service armored truck by ambushing the driver. Davis's co-conspirators were armed with a black semi-automatic handgun and an AR style rifle, which they pointed at the driver, identified in the agreement as JG. Davis admitted to acting as a lookout and performing counter surveillance nearby. According to the plea agreement, the group forced JG to the ground by holding the firearm to his head, then stole bags filled with approximately $166,640 in cash. Imagine the terror of being pulled to the ground with a gun pointed at your head. Christy Hawkins, acting assistant director in charge of the FBI's Los Angeles field office, said in a statement, Davis and his accomplices violently ambushed an individual just doing his job so they can make off with other people's money. The lead defendant in this case, the Navy's J.N. Hobson, 38, has pleaded not guilty. His trial is scheduled for September 3rd. Hobson is charged with one count of Hobbs Act conspiracy, just like Big U, one count of Hobbs Act robbery, one count of using a firearm in furtherance of a crime of violence. That's 924C. That's mandatory minimum of 84 months. That's 7 years mandatory minimum. I got that on my bank robbery. And one count of being a felon in possession of a firearm and ammunition. According to FBI spokesperson Laura E. Myler, the agency is seeking additional suspects it believes are linked to this series of robberies. So there you have that. And then he was found guilty and sentenced. I think it's this one. Let me see. Found guilty. He was sentenced. Well, we don't even got to get into that. Let me see if I can get these pictures for y'all, though. You know what I'm saying? Salute, man. Everybody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So Denavius Hobson was the unindicted co-conspirator, juvenile co-conspirator on my thing. Don't act live in LA now. He better be glad niggas haven't hit his house yet. Nah, I don't. He in LA. He be dumb as fuck to live there. Oh shit, that's a trip. I stayed on Muirfield back in 2002, 2003. Bro, you stayed on Muirfield in 2002. We caught our bank robbery February 22nd, 2002. He stayed on Muirfield. I stayed on West and Cinco Tomas up on the hill where the back alley will take you to the park. I had that spot in the jungles, And then my baby mama, my ex-wife, had the spot on 43rd and Compton. So I would be at both. You know what I'm saying? Happy born day to the God, Tiny Draws, many more, brother. Act lives in New York or New Jersey, right? So let me see if I can get these pictures. Blockbuster, salute. How can Act come from one of the dirtiest, grimiest places? Because he has the mentality of an elitist. You know what I'm saying? He has that elitist mentality. He believes he's one of them. That's kind of like what they do. But let me see if I can get this cracking for y'all. All right, hold on. Let's see if I can get this cracking. I know I sent them to my Crime Meat Baby Bomb. Shout out to Baby Time Bomb, my Crime Meat, man. Go check out that interview I did with him. You know what I'm saying? Baby Bomb from the Dubs. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what we got. I'm trying to find this. I'm put I love you, bro. That nigga crazy as a Betsy Buck. You know what I'm saying? He definitely needs to know nigga level. Okay, so let's see if we can get this up here. If I can get these pictures on Messenger, we in business. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Oh no, they not letting me do it. I don't know how to do it. Boom. Let's go like this. Puda. That was his brother, little brother's name. Puda. You know what I'm saying? So I can show y'all those pictures real quick, right? I'm gonna end up bringing the police. I know exactly where that's at. Deuce, exactly. Loose self-hate, man. We gonna have to clean it up before we ride. It's straight self-hate, bro. That's the prime example. Deuce growing his braids out. He about to start set tripping again. Nah, bro. I'm not going back. Especially now, bro. Right now, we need to be unifying and preparing to fight before they put you niggas back into slavery. Cause y'all, these niggas is lambs. And they trying to get rid of all the wolves so that they can have their way with the lambs. And the lambs so stupid, they helping them get rid of the wolves like Big U. You know what I'm saying? So, wait, I think I screenshotted it. Yeah, I think I screenshotted it. So I'm going to show y'all the picture of the Navy is Hobson. Man, we're not doing all that right now. Talk about add my motherfucking phone number to Facebook Messenger. Ain't that a bitch? Let me go. Maybe I could put that on IG. That'd be just as good. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, they don't even got it up there. Yeah, they not trying to let me show the pictures. Yeah, Puda, that was his name. Okay, we got it. Boom. So now I can share that with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Now I can share that with y'all. Boom. Cash up. Okay, Lisa Harrison said $7. Open the app for more detail. Lisa, thank you for the super chat. I mean the cash app. Hold on. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Baby. Let's get it on. So, all right. So, here go right here, right? So that's their mom, right? Carly. You know what I'm saying? The Navy is Hobson, right? There go Puda. You know what I'm saying? And then that's them on the camera doing the lick, getting it. No, they was going back into the gated complex where they stayed on Chesapeake after the lick. and they were seen on camera and fitting the description and all of that. But yeah, man, nasty work. You know what I'm saying? They got another brother too. I think he from he turned West Boulevard. He used to be for like CMP or KMP or whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? America only loves us black boys when we jump in singing and dancing. Yeah, that's okay. We not trying to get they love no more. Fuck they love. Deuce, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, man, I really truly believe that this is the time and the return of the Mahdi in Islam, also known as the Messiah, the Christ in the Bible. I really believe these are the days that we living in. These devils, they curving constitutional, human, and civil rights that our people sacrificed years over, decades, and fought. And they're steadily erasing them, and y'all cool with them. The people just go on every day like it's not happening. So I'm looking for that to happen. But look, man, it's been an hour and 6 minutes. It's late. I know they upstairs going to sleep. So I'm finna do the same, man. Look, 2 million views. Me and Yael couldn't have did it without y'all. The way that y'all come support, those that keep those notifications on, those that come and hit that like button as soon as they come in, that's all we ask. That cash app we just got, Lord knows I need it, right? But that cash app we just got, let me read what it said, right? $7 cash app, 7 for the block, right? Yeah, not much, but it's something. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. But that every little bit counts, man. Y'all don't know how humbled I am. Jerry Griffin, salute. Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Brim, nigga, G Woo, salute, Mike B, salute to everybody, Kid the Barber, man. Salute to all of y'all, man. Like I said, me and Yael can't do it without y'all. You know what I'm saying? We could open up, but if y'all don't show up, the numbers don't do good. At some point, it'll be a waste of time. But y'all show up, which makes me continue to research. Look, we got a hell of a show tomorrow. Keep them notifications on, man. I love y'all, man. Salute. Y'all really, really, and that's not even counting the 4 million for the World Star Hip Hop video. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about just on this channel, the Active Chuck channel, man. I love y'all. Salute. Damu Kiwe Conversation. I got a tear in my eye, man. Y'all salute.